Hey everybody, how you doing today? My name is Freight Train and I am here from the AVGL Collegiate Smite League, and today I'm going to be talking about the 5.4 patch notes that might be affecting this week's games as we go look into week number 2. So, let's get started. First on the list is going to be Blink. Blink is going to get a nice little nerf here. It's going to have an increased cooldown from 100 to 120 seconds. This is going to obviously slow down a lot of mobility factors that we've seen in the junglers, especially Nemesis, as we'll get into the god changes later on. Spoiler, she's there. So we'll see how this ends up really dictating the meta, as Blink was so relevant. I mean, you would see 2, sometimes even 3 of these on a team. Now, we're going to get to the Oracle of, or the Chalice of the Oracle. I always call it the Oracle Chalice for some reason. I don't know. Chalice of the Oracle. Huge vision item, obviously. You know, get free wards. Not free. You got to obviously buy it. You used to spend 300 gold, but now you got to go ahead and drop the 400 on it to get that vision if you want. This was extremely relevant in the AVGL this weekend, and it's probably going to be in all sorts of play you watch in Smite, because vision is vision, man. But there is a balance. You know, too much vision means that you're not going to do certain things when you can see. Too little vision means you're not going to go for a spicy play because you don't know what's on the other side. So you got to find that fine balance, and I think a gold change might do it pretty well. Obviously sucks to see as a guy that loves warding, but, you know, probably didn't deserve it. So for all those AVGL support players, your Gauntlet of Thebes is going to get a little bit of a buff. So last week we didn't see a lot of supports rotating. Maybe not until the 15-20 minute mark, man. These guys were still stuck in dual lane trying to help their ADCs out a lot of the times. This was because they had to go ahead and get those stacks. I mean, that wasn't as rewarding. But now, if you do go ahead and get a rotation in the mid and you decide to leave, you are going to get 5 stacks for killing a god or getting an assist. It's going to go ahead and help on that. Emerald Talisman for the AVGL. Probably not going to be as affected. I mean, we're getting a little increase in price for 200 gold and a decrease in obviously HP percentage that you're going to get from 25 to 20%. Overall, this obviously leads into Stone of Gaia, which got, you know, the change as a tier 3. That got a nerf from 21 to 2250, and then obviously the health decrease as well. This is a solo lane item. You know, you don't really see this on many supports. Like, yeah, maybe you'll see it on a support once in a while. I mean, if it's a heavy team comp and you need that regen. But this is a solo laner item. I still see this being picked up, but maybe not in the same slot. You know, maybe you go for it like one later, and you're kind of like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. We'll see where this kind of fits into things. I still think this will be a pretty relevant item, though, and we'll be seeing this throughout the AVGL. This item was the bread and butter, man, of all the junglers and everyone that we saw last week. Heartseeker. This little dagger icon was brutal to so many players that it got demolished. Yeah, 20% decrease now. That's going to be your new passive on it. So this is going to hurt Nemesis. This is going to hurt Dodgy. This is going to hurt all. Fafnir. I mean, any jungler. All junglers were buying Heartseeker pretty much. It was just one of those things. Heartseeker. Still probably going to be bought. You know, didn't get a gold increase. Still going to be bought, but not going to do quite as much damage early on, which should help save those lovely mages' lives. And as we go to the mages, see Ratatouille just got bonus issue. Not really big deal. Fixing little issues. 2 more, though. So, speaking of those mages, maybe we'll see some more of them pick up the Doom Orb over there in the AVGL, as it's going to get a power increase from 60 to 70. Slight increase. Gold stays the same. Pretty cheap item overall, really. I think it's kind of effective for an early to mid game strategy. If you're trying to sit there and get that lane poke going on, it could be a decent little thing to pick up and then maybe sell down the road for something. Kind of all really depends, but Doom Orb not too bad. We'll see if it gets picked up because of this little bit of a buff. More mage items or magical based damage items. Soul Reaver on mages was yeah, you picked it up last season. You know, this season you're probably not going to see it still. This was more of a, you know, you have a Guardian of the Soul Lane, you have your Sobek, you have your somebody, and you just wanted to take that chunk off of somebody. Like, as a Guardian, you don't do chunks. But if you have a Soul Reaver, you're going to do a chunk. And that is where the Guardians were tanky enough they can get in, do this, and kind of get that reset. We'll see if this gets picked up by more Guardians in the Soul Lane as they start getting played. Still don't really know if it's going to fit really well into mage builds, though, in the mid lane, as we do see lifesteal and health being a lot more prevalent in that role. Now, Beyonce was here. She'd tell you to put a ring on it. Sorry, I don't know. I think the song's like 10 years old now, but we're still making jokes about it. Enchanted Ring, Shaman's Ring, Telecon's Ring. Buff, buff, buff. That's what you need to know. Spoiler alert, Chronos also got buffed. So you can kind of see where this is going. Maybe we'll start seeing some more Chronoses and some more magical AD carries like Soul in the AVGL and them start make their way. As you see, just no gold change, an increase from 30 to 45 on the Enchanted Ring. Increase cost from 100, but a 20 damage increase from magical power on the Shamans. And then Telecon's got a little bit of the backwards. It got a decrease and then got an increase in power as well. So again, 3 rings, all directed towards Soul, all directed towards Chronos, Freya. Who else would use the rings? Ao Kuang. Maybe you can see Ao Kuang getting a ring. It's kind of like the other one. Who else would probably get a ring? Nua, if you wanted to go cheeky in hand, but we're not theory crafting right now. We're just going over patch notes. God Balance, Achilles isn't even allowed right now, and he's broken. He needs to probably go further down than nerfs. Ao Kuang, casting time. We haven't seen any Ao Kuang, so shouldn't really have any effect too much as far as AVGL picks go. But this man, Apollo, maybe we'll see him get picked up now. He's going to go ahead and get a increased base damage from 70 to 80, and then all the way to 290 to 320. This should hopefully help him. Apollo was one of my first diamonds. I think he was my second diamond. I think it was my second diamond past Rama when I was playing AD carry back in like season 2. Apollo was great, man. And honestly, in a meta where the map is bigger, you think split pushing might be a little bit more prevalent. He just, it says it right here. It just didn't come into tuition. Apollo was a hunter. Just didn't do as much as they were thought. This should obviously help out the late game. We'll see where it ends up occurring. Spoilers. Chronos, as I said. Increased basic attack damage with all those rings. Gonna be pretty scary if he gets into the arena. And then all of a sudden the magical power stack from 3 to 5. All right. Like I said, we're talking about putting Chronos. Anytime Chronos is like viable, it's scary. Chronos is very, very, very scary. Ultimate that can obviously go back and rewind himself, get all his cooldowns, get a lot of health back. So a master Chronos player is great at being able to time that perfectly, get all his health back, and then really put himself in a good position to go ahead and actually team fight once again. This is going to have to be looked at. We might see some Chronoses start to come out here in the next couple weeks. Support players. Fafnir, you're going to get your stun back on Curse Strength. Hallelujah. The negative is you're going to lose a little bit of your healing. A little bit of your healing. Not too much. I mean, it's kind of a little rough. But, let's be real. Late game, Fafnir probably super tanky. This isn't going to be as effective. Maybe early on it's going to be a little bit less poke heavy. You're not going to want to take as much poke. But, I feel like this may help Fafnir get back into the game a little bit. The stun is obviously useful, but now it's even more because it's a 1.4 max. Hebo, we saw him banned out nearly every single game in the AVGL last week, and the reason is because he has like 7 ultimates on 4 abilities. I don't even know how that's possible, but he has a knockup, and that does insane damage. I'm counting the knockup and insane damage as 2 ultimates just by itself. The carpet is slow resistance and speed. That's like 2 ultimates. I mean, it's crazy. So he's going to get an increased cooldown from 10 to 12 seconds and a decrease in power on that knockup from 85 to 75%. Maybe we see him allowed back in the game. It's dangerous, though. Lifesteal, health items, Warlock staff, they're really, really scary to have on a Hebo. But with Blink nerfed, Hebos used to get a lot of Blink to get in and out. We'll see if that kind of, again, changes the whole dynamic. Kumba, another support. We will see how the Kumba Karna goes. Fun support. Really is. Kumba is a very, very fun support. He is a guy that has always had amazing crowd control, but typically, maybe not the best confirm as far as he only has 1 ultimate that only hits 1 player. It's like, okay, you get out of here. Maybe he gets the Scylla for the damage, but really hard to sit there and figure out where to put him into a team composition. But decreased cooldown should help him at least clear. And then obviously increased base damage. Nice little chunk of change, 70 to 90. Going to obviously help out as well with the clear for sure. So, should be nice. Now, we said Nemesis, spoilers, got changed. You're not getting that buff for 8 seconds anymore. You're getting it for 5 seconds. And this. Thank you. 90 seconds. All ranks. Scaling cooldowns down are a tricky slope, and I've said this for a while. Anytime you do this in Smite, you know, the players that we watched play Nemesis last week were just destroying it, absolutely destroying it, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that this ultimate can come up so quickly when you build CDR. So what you have to end up watching out for here is the fact that this is going to be now 90 seconds at all ranked. Maybe you can get it down to about 70 seconds, 75 seconds with some CDR. Going to be a completely different story than having it up every 45 seconds when you had max CDR. Nua, she's finally getting a little bit of love. Damaging mana decrease, base movement speed of the soldiers coming up, scaling, mana decrease. My personal favorite is capacity player made deployables while lifting off of their ultimate. Should give Nua some viability, honestly, in the mid lane. These are some decent little buffs, and we may see her back into the meta here coming into the mid lane. And Ra, he's going to go ahead and get a speed buff increase as well on his base movement. Something simple, and a little bit of obviously scaling. Ra's Ra. He's there for sustain. He's there for a big ultimate. You know, I mean, this is just the clear. We'll see if if it changes too much. Thoth, though, big changes. Decreased pen. There's a lot of pen items in the game. As you can see, even from, with current itemization, the penetration bottom, let's ignore the fact that have been limited, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can read all that. There you go. Now they're not going to have as much pen, so tanks can feel a little bit more tankier, and then obviously you're not going to get as much of a bonus to go through the Glyph of Pain, which was a big thing. So, all in all, that does it for 5.4 patch notes, which are live this week. And what we're going to be playing on, those are the skins. I don't care about that. The biggest changes, in my opinion, the big three: Blink, right there, Chalice for Vision, and then Heartseeker. Here you go. Those are the big three things I think are going to be big changes. We'll see how it ends up affecting the AVGL League this week. So, if you want to go ahead and catch the AVGL, though, action, you can check it out on Thursdays, 7 p.m., and then Saturdays at 5 p.m., where I'll be casting on both days with Seleucus on Thursdays and then J-Mac on Saturdays. So, again, for everybody out there, the AVGL fans, I appreciate you all watching. My name is Freight Train. Catch you all later.